got a third die.
What we're saying, people. I hope you're well. Welcome back to the show. Absolutely amazing guest for me tonight. I'm looking forward to this one because it's been an unbelievable weekend of football. If you haven't done so already, go check out last night's show. Absolute chaos and carnage as ever. So make sure that you go and check that one out and catch up if you haven't seen it already. Joining me today is Joe, Little Dan, Billy, Sam, who's welcome back, by the way, Sam. It's been forever, mate, but it's great to see you. And Dave. And there's some geezer with a Palace flag behind him, a balaclava on. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's like a Brighton fan dressing up as a Palace fan. I don't know what's going on there, but
nah, Potsy, it's fucking Sub-Zero for Mortal Kombat because Crystal Palace have 0 wins in 2023. Sub-Zero.
Oh my God!
It's me. Hold up. Why is Wolves still talking? Because they're still below us.
Vieira, whoa, it's taking Palace down. The worst team in London too. Sub-Zero, put your mask back on, Sub-Zero, with your 0 wins, you joker.
You sport Wolves. How on earth is Wolves talking?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. I'll let D calm down a bit because he's frustrated that Brighton are 11 points in front and Wolves are on the same points.
Why are you talking? You're going to
I can talk all I want.
You get lucky with your last second goals. Not even last second goals. And now you're giving me 11 points ahead, Brighton and all this. Watch your City finish above you.
Listen,
we're going to do the job. Watch.
This is not the Race for Europe show, D. You're never going to be on that show, brother, right? So just relax, chill. This is about you guys, not about Arsenal. Just chill out. I know you're going to smoke us in a couple of weeks, like you keep telling me, but try and get a win. Try and get a win in 2023 first, mate, and then we'll just build on that, brother. Right? Just build on that.
You get lucky.
Okay. Well, let's start on that one because we have got Sam in the house. Big up, Sam. I've got to say, man, like I watched your vlog and along with the 100,000 other people that have watched it, mate. Absolute scenes at the Emirates. Like, fair play to you, man, because you was kind. But I haven't heard the Emirates go that nuts at the end of a game in the 16 years I've been going. And I wanted to get your thoughts as a Bournemouth fan going 2-0 up, which surprised everybody, particularly in 9 seconds, 1-0 up. And how you now feel after you've had a few days to sit, relax, chill out a bit, and then look back and think, how do I feel being a Bournemouth fan after going to the Emirates? And let's be fair, everybody thought Bournemouth would at least take something from it. I think everybody in this panel thought that. Devastating, I imagine, bruv.
It's absolutely devastating. Horrible way to lose a game. It's not the first time we've been 2 goals up and lost the game. Done it against Leeds. We've done it against Spurs. So there was that caution when we went 2-0 up. I think that, we were all taken by surprise by going 1-0 up so early. But for us, it was almost too early to score because we're thinking, bloody hell, they got 90 minutes now to pull this back and then probably win it. But then as the game went on, we're thinking, hang on, we might be able to. And then 2-0, we're thinking, hello, this could be scenes. But as soon as they got one back, I think there's a mentality crisis with a few Bournemouth players. And unfortunately, we made changes. Our manager made changes. It was almost a panic decision straight after your first goal from, was it Partey? And then again after Ben White equalised. And the writing was on the wall, man. And we just seemed to invite waves and waves of pressure. I thought after 97 minutes, that was it. He was going to blow the whistle, but absolute scenes. And look, on the dot, if you look at the stats, if you look at the possession, you look at everything else, of course Arsenal deserved to win it. Of course they did, but it's just the hope of being in that situation. And there were absolute scenes, and we vlogged it, and I was obviously there, trying to film it. Loads of people have commented on our vlog, Arsenal fans. One Arsenal fan said, I tuned in to see some scenes, and all I could see is some, really sad, bald guy crying into the camera. Cheers, mate. That was really nice of you. But
nice. Sorry about that, Sam. I'll make sure I won't say that next time.
But no, mate. Hard one to take, but it does give us a few positives. But I still am not feeling positive just yet.
Yeah, it's hard to feel positive after an L, mate. But to be fair to you, I really didn't think that L was coming for you boys. Like, I sat in the stand myself thinking, oh, I could see them getting back into this, but it ain't going to be a 3-pointer. I mean, if you would have said to me there's going to be 3 Arsenal players that score, I never would have said it would have been Ben White, Thomas Partey, and Reece Nelson. Put it that
No.
way. Unbelievable, man. I can't lie to you. But you said something really interesting, Sam, on your vlog that I watched. And as much as you were pissed, you were like, title's going to this place, man. I can
I
feel
reckon
it.
I reckon that's the turning point. I reckon, I don't know, like sometimes in seasons, like you'll probably look back at the end of the season and think that was the game. And I don't know, like I actually think there's a real like season defining photo that someone posted. I don't know who it was, a journalist or whatever, where just after Reece Nelson scored, and he was the coolest guy in the stadium, by the way, because he's just like strolling away, celebrating. There are other Arsenal players who are on the floor. There's Ben White, who's constantly giving it to our keeper Neto. I think they had a bit of a clash earlier in the game. Bournemouth players were on the floor, like they gave it absolutely everything. And it's a photo that probably symbolises how the season's going to be, because I've got a feeling it's, that's the thing that relegates us. I bloody hope not, because we're still in with a chance, but it could be a turning point for you as well, because that, it's horrible when Man City are breathing down your neck, I'm sure. But, to get that win, I think it could well win you the title. And as for the Emirates, it's the loudest I've ever heard it. And I know that for decades, for years and years, it's a song that's sang in the Premier League. Is this the Emirates and all that? It was loud, man. It was loud. Throughout, I think it was obviously quieting down, obviously. But at certain points in the game, it was one of the loudest grounds I've heard this season. So, credit to you for that.
Yeah, mate, and credit to you, man, because I enjoyed the vlog, not just for the reasons of the obvious reasons, but actually fair play to you, and I love the work you do over there back in the nets, man. But I must say, man, a lot of people on this pod and many on this panel have tipped Bournemouth to go down. We just don't feel like we've seen enough yet, and I don't think that's cruel to say that. But at the same time, I wouldn't put my house on saying that they're definitely dead and buried. But when people do say to me, pick 3 teams, they are normally one of the 3 teams that I've gone for the last few weeks. So I wanted to ask you how you feel about that from other fans that are looking at Bournemouth and perhaps thinking that your favourites or one of the favourites to go down, and give us some positives as to why you think you could stay up.
Yeah, I'll try, but problem is that I think that after the World Cup, we opted for our caretaker manager as someone that he's never managed in the Premier League before. That's always been a sticking point. I think Tom, who does Back of the Net with me, he was on the overlap and said it's like giving the keys for a Ferrari to someone who ain't got a driving license. And
I see that. Yeah,
yeah, and that's exactly
big
how
up Tom,
it feels.
by the way. Big up Tom.
Yeah, he's credit to the channel, but it is really tough to see where the points are coming from. We've spent a load of players, we spent loads of money, i.e. that's the Ferrari, and we've got a load of players that we think, can save us. They're real, sort of attacking players, like fast transitional players, and, players that have produced like so far. So, that gives us something to cling on to, but I think they're kind of strangled by the management style that we've got, sadly. But one thing I would just say is that, Man City, we've had Arsenal, we all thought that Liverpool might actually be a good game. Then they beat United 7-0. So who knows what's going to happen there? And madly, I think that Man United have got Southampton next, typically our relegation rivals. So, if we're within touching distance after those 3 games, the only big 6 sides that are left are Spurs and also Man United as well. So there's chance. There's chance. No, actually, sorry, Chelsea at home as well, but we always beat Chelsea at home, so it's fine. But yeah, there is a chance. It's just staying intact, but we've got to get points from the teams in and around us. We managed to do it at Wolves. It was a horrible game, but we managed to do it. We need to start demonstrating that against other teams as well, like against even Aston Villa. We got Leicester City after that, like pretty much soon after. We have to get like maximum points. So it has to happen now.
Mate, it really does. I don't know which one of you it is, but someone sounds like on the M25. I don't know.
I thought that as
what
well, man.
Background noise it is. I've no idea, but all I can hear is a car going past every few minutes. But anyway, I've no idea who that is. Dave, maybe it is you. You're so in his face.
I couldn't
No idea.
possibly comment, gentlemen. Yeah, it's me. It's the sound of my heart pumping. It's the sound of me thinking back to that day. It's the sound of me thinking back to that day in September when I felt like Sam did on Saturday. Because we were 2 up on Bournemouth and lost 3-2. So I kind of know where he's coming from.
I can remember that one
It's
as
a hard
well.
one.
What a game that was, man.
And actually, can I just say about the Arsenal goal, the winning goal, I think it is the moment of the Premier League this season, without a shadow of a doubt, on any ground.
Yeah.
It could be, man. Come me. It's funny because I said this on last night's show. Like, I saw a great question on Gooner Talk, and it said, where does that goal stand? And it was up there with 3 or 4 other moments at the Emirates. Like, I can't talk about Highbury because it's different level. But when it comes to the Emirates, every single moment we've had has led to nothing. So Danny Welbeck scored and we didn't go and win the league. Arshavin scored, we didn't go win the Champions League. I just hope that when we get to May, this actually does mean something. Because a lot of Arsenal fans will say we come second and it's a great season. To be fair, they've got a point. It ain't a bad season whatsoever. Could be a Palace fan. Do you know what I mean? Could be worse. Right?
why are
But
you trying to start me?
when-
I didn't even say anything. I didn't even say anything. Why do you
I
have
see
to
you
do that?
smirking down
Oh,
there. I see you
no,
smirking down there.
Your best moments was just failures. Like you didn't get anywhere.
Well, that's
You're
it.
just
That's
talking
what
about
I'm
your best
saying.
moment before this.
So
That's what.
let's hope
anyway,
that
continue,
this
sorry.
ain't another one of those. And I just feel like you get moments against Villa. Sorry to bring it up, Billy, but that moment and in this one starts to make you realise things are going in the right direction for us. And I just hope it's sustainable, man. I hope it's sustainable. But enough about Arsenal. Little Dan, you did me a favour, man, of the weekend. You made my weekend absolutely sweet as ever. Adama Traore, a player who gets a lot of stick, man, I can't lie, comes up with an unreal goal. That's just the sort of thing he does, mate. He's just, I never see him for months, and then all of a sudden, boom. Thank you so much for beating that absolutely horrendous team. I do appreciate it, mate. That's given you a big boost, I imagine, under Lopetegui, yeah?
Oh, massive. It's like the conversation I had with Dave in the WhatsApp. Me and Adama have been over the park the last few weeks practicing on those finishes and finally one's come off. I mean, I don't think he couldn't do it again if he tried. If you see the replay, he's just swung his leg at it and luckily the FIFA AI's stood in our favour at that moment, gone in off the bar. Fraser Forster is literally the worst keeper I've seen in the flesh for so many years. He's just a big tree. He doesn't catch anything. He just sticks an arm out. He looks like Wreck-It Ralph, the cartoon character. He's a joke. But like the first half, Tottenham should have put us away. Didn't take the chances. Hit the woodwork twice during the game. And like everyone knows in here in the Premier League, if you don't take your chances, you get punished. We had it against. We even created chances against Bournemouth, but they had one chance and they took it on the day. Wolves are we're in the ascendancy at the moment. You look at the league table since Lopetegui came in between the teams who are in the bottom half, and we've picked up the most points. We're the only team in the bottom half since after the World Cup that's got a positive goal difference, and I think that just shows how far we've come since Lopetegui's come in.
Yeah, it's that appointment, man. That appointment. Are you starting to feel like with a little bit of chest you're going to be safe now, bro?
We've got the next. Ask me after the next 3 games. We've got Newcastle away on Sunday, which the way Newcastle are playing at the moment, I think they've won 1 in the last 7 or 1 in the last 8. Newcastle, they're starting to look leggy now. I think we can pick up a result on Sunday, and then we've got Leeds at home and then Forest away. Those 2 games after Newcastle, I think if we can avoid getting beat in those 2 games, I think we're comfortable then.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. I don't see Wolves going down. Like, as soon as you got Lopetegui, I thought, yeah, that's enough. They'll be fine because of the way he plays, the experience he's got, and I just feel like Wolves have just got enough. And sometimes, I think Dave said it last week or week before, you look around you at the other teams, I see a lot worse than 3 teams than Wolves. I see more than 3 teams that are worse. So I think Wolves
That's
will be
that's what makes me sort of laugh to a degree, because I heard Sam and the back of that talking about Bournemouth being a Ferrari, and I just thought it was a joke, to be honest. Like,
Ooh!
I know you're trying to come up with some sort of clickbait message, but comparing Bournemouth to a Ferrari, come on.
Compared to the players that we add, I mean, in terms of the money that we've added, in terms of the playing staff that have been added since the January transfer window, It is. We had a Fiat Panda beforehand, but now, no.
I know, but
like,
you've got to go for like a solid car, like a Volkswagen Passat.
What Tom was trying to get across was that we have heavily invested, and we are, we've got some decent Premier League players, we think, but a manager that is obviously not experienced, and that's the comparison he's trying to make. So why?
No, it's the Ferrari comparison. I understand. To be honest, you're being derogatory to flipping Gary O'Neill to a degree because he has got some sort of coaching degree.
Yeah, no, that's the point. That's the point. No, that's the problem. That's the problem at the moment. It's the manager, and
you needed Bielsa, Sam. You needed Bielsa if that had come off, mate.
If it would have, that would have been, that would have been wonderful. But look, I mean, Gary O'Neill's learning on the job at the moment, and he picked up a win at Wolves. That's the only win he's got this year. We need to start performing against the teams in and around us. If he manages to prove us wrong, we'd be more than happy. Whether he would actually, even if he kept us up, whether he would actually stay as our head coach or whatever it is, I don't think he would.
It's mad, isn't it? Because as a fan of an opposing side, I knew as soon as he got that job permanent, it'd have been game over. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, like, he's done so well. You get the job permanent, lose. Do you know what I mean? That's I think how it goes.
When he hasn't got the permanent title, he's obviously trying to, show to the board and show to everyone who's making the decisions that, I'm the man for this job. And then he's almost like settled down and think, well, I've got it now. It is an 18-month contract. It's relatively short, but, job done really. It doesn't really matter. We've got new investment. We've got new owners. Whether we get promoted or relegated, it doesn't really matter to him. So, but he needs to prove his worth because he's got to think of his time after Bournemouth, and that may come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, man. No, I think that's fair. Little Dan, I know we ain't got you for long, man. Apart from Arsenal, obviously, how many of the other teams on this panel do you think Wolves will finish above?
4.
Those 4 teams being
Leeds, Forest, Bournemouth, and Palace. Palace are going down. Palace are going down.
Bro, that's Potts. You asked that question on purpose, and then you came to me on purpose as well.
I haven't asked a question. I've asked a genuine question.
I know what you're trying to do.
Asked a genuine question.
Yeah, I don't care about Wolves for them to finish above us. I want them to finish above us. Like, they're a good club. Like, I'm not really fussed. Like, it's not a big thing for me. I'll be happy for that if they finish above us. They should. I mean, we haven't won a game in 3 months, and I'm surprised they're still not above us, which is a crazy thing.
You think you're gonna go down, though, D? I don't think you'll go down.
Why are you trying to start on me? There's so many
I'm
other
not
clubs.
asking the question.
There's so many other
He's
clubs.
doing his job as a host.
No. There's so many other clubs you can talk about.
I said Palace are going down, so I asked you, do you think you are?
No, I don't. You know that. I don't.
But things are looking pretty bleak, bro, at the moment for Palace. I don't think you're gonna go down.
I'm not gonna respond. I'm just here to observe. I'm not responding. I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm just here to observe.
They won't go down. Palace won't go down, man.
No.
Like they'll be all right. It's like it reminds me. Like I remember Southampton before, man. Like last season or the season before under Ralph Hasenhüttl, they lost like 11 on the spin. But they'd already got that much of a gap over those at the bottom. Like the thing is, like we can't score. We're not winning enough. Bournemouth, Everton, like they won't get caught. I don't think. I think they're fine. But as a Palace fan, I could understand why you're worried. But I think they'll be fine come the end of the season.
I think Wolves are the best of the bottom 8. I honestly think of the bottom 8, and this includes us. I think Wolves are the best of the bottom 8. I think Wolves are better than us, definitely. So I think Wolves. I think it's the bottom 5 and us. There's 6 of us in it, and I think Palace will be all right, and I think Wolves will be all right.
This isn't me trying to be personal today for 1 second, honestly. You look at Palace this season. Zaha hasn't been on fire. They've lost Conor Gallagher. Where are the goals coming from this season to solidify them staying up? That's why I've been saying for months now that Palace have been struggling. It wasn't just banter. Where's the goals coming from, D?
The goals will come when Zaha, he just came back against Aston Villa. He was out injured. Eze was out of form. So the players that you're talking about and the run of games that we've had against tougher opponents, I wasn't expecting goals, as wild as it might sound. How can I expect goals with an attack of Jeffrey Schlupp, Jordan Ayew, and Jean-Philippe Mateta? I mean, there's a bigger chance of lots
Fair
of different
point,
stuff
to be
happening
fair.
than him scoring a goal. But that was
I
the
agree with
first
that,
game
but
against
obviously,
Aston Villa.
how much of a blow has losing Conor Gallagher been for you in that midfield this season?
Yeah, it's been a blow. It's been a massive blow. But it's just look. I think Lukonga it has helped. Funny enough, in the short term, anyways. That was the first time Lukonga and Zaha started in a game. That was the first time Eze started in quite a bit as well. So look, we've had the
Elise,
most
D?
difficult.
Yeah, where's Elise?
Yeah, Elise has been
Elise?
it's been solid, but then what can Elise do when the other players that is around them? I mean, our striker, Jean-Philippe Mateta, he ain't even a good footballer. Forget about Premier League, he's not a good footballer. Like, what can he do? What can Elise do? It was literally Elise and just a bunch of other people that he's carrying for a long time. And despite that, we still managed to pick up. I don't know how, but we kept the clean sheet against Liverpool before the 7-0. And we kept we managed to pick up a point against United at home, against Newcastle, against Brighton. I know people going about Brighton as well. We managed to pick up points without Zaha playing in them games, without Eze being out of form. And we've got, if you look at our fixture list, we've probably had the most difficult fixture list, I think, by stats so far this season, more than anyone here. And that is because of the teams that we faced. But April onwards, we've got Leicester. I'm not saying we're going to beat these teams, but these are teams that we should be able to better compete with. We've got Leicester, we've got Leeds, we've got Bournemouth, we've got Forest, we've got all them other teams. And I feel like the fixture list has been incredibly difficult for us. But no, I don't even want to talk about Palace. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about how's your day?
Just lastly, because I think it's important, Dean. I'm not even trolling. Like Vieira, I mean, I love Vieira, and I think I love to see him do a great job, man. But like, you ask where the goals are coming. Like Edouard, who sometimes looks like Thierry Henry, sometimes looks like Akinbaye.
Like, he's never looked like Thierry Henry. Let's stop that.
Like,
Let's stop that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
He's been better than Thierry Henry.
He's hot and cold.
He hasn't looked like he's been better than Thierry Henry.
He's been better.
Stop trying to compare the two. Stop trying to compare.
He's like hot and cold is my point, right? He's hot and cold. But doesn't seem like Vieira really trusts him. Is that fair to say? Or is that like...
bro, I can't lie. There must be a reality show. If there's a reality show, if there's cameras at Palace, it'll be very exciting right now. Because Vieira's coming out and talking about Edouard, saying he has to do better. But he keeps him on the bench. I just don't understand. If you don't have zero faith in this player, don't have him on the bench. And that's why for the first time after the Villa game, I had to look at Vieira for the first time he's joined. Because Billy would say it, we had nothing. We had Zaha starting, we had Eze starting, but he's starting them all out of position. And we had literally nothing going forward. And that's because the player that is up front, Zaha, is not a striker. We can't get a service to him. And the player that should be starting, the player Edouard, he's our second highest goal scorer this season. He just had an injury, then woke up, then he's been out of form. But then again, Mateta is just a terrible footballer compared to Edouard. So it still doesn't warrant why Mateta starts over Edouard. I think Vieira's saying his attitude stinks or whatever it is, but he needs to get over it, man. They need to sort it out because if they don't, it's just a waste of time. Literally, we need a striker up there. Otherwise, everyone else is playing our position. Ez is not a wide player. Zaha's not a striker. Elise is not a number 10. Elise is a wide player. And when you don't have a striker, which we don't have right now, if it ain't Edouard or Mateta, then someone has to play our position, which is annoying. Edouard needs to start.
Is Dougie Friedman still there, D?
Yeah, he is.
My God.
You know Dougie Friedman.
Man, Dougie played for Wolves. He was a legend in the 90s.
Is it? I didn't know that.
I didn't even know he played for Wolves.
Yeah.
Played for us.
You know Dougie Friedman as well? What?
Yeah, I know him, but I knew him from Palace. I didn't know that he was at Wolves and Forest.
Oh, yeah, of course you knew him.
And in Forest, actually.
You don't know Dougie Friedman.
I knew he was at Palace, but that's it.
No, you don't know about... Okay, what position does Dougie Friedman play?
Striker, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he spent some time.
I thought you were just trying to.
No, I did know him. I'm not going to start saying I know how good he was and stuff, but I knew the striker position, but I didn't know he was at Forest and Wolves in the 90s.
Yeah.
Lil Dan, I know you've got a shoot, bro. What's your prediction going into this weekend for Wolves, mate?
I fancy to get a result at Newcastle, and I'm hoping we can get a win. I'm going to go 1-0 Wolves on Sunday. We're the 4:30 kickoff, which is mad, really. That Newcastle Wolves is a Sunday feature, but here we go.
Is that
Fair
away?
play to you, man.
Is that away?
Yeah.
Nah, it won't win that, man.
Nah, I
Get a
can't see it.
point. You'll get a point, maybe most. Not, it won't win at St James's for me.
Cheers, Joe. Thanks for your optimism, but I'm going 1-0.
I'm just being real, bro. I'm just being real.
I appreciate that. Newcastle at home are a decent side, but like I said, they've won 1 in the last 8. They've become leggy now. The Carabao Cup defeat's not
Can't
been
score.
mentally. And they're struggling for goals. Our fancies to sit out to 1-0 on Sunday.
Potts,
If you do, man,
I
that's
don't
a
know,
huge
not only
result.
Potts, I don't know if others remember as well. I spoke about Eddie Howe when Pete was on this show, but that was quite a while ago. And I did say then. I wonder. I'm not saying it's gonna be the case, but the same thing as Sam can say, the same thing happened at Bournemouth in terms of when they were firing, they were very good, and they were scoring goals, looked very great. But then it reached a point where the football became predictable, and teams kind of figured out his football. And that's why I wanted to see what they can do till the end of the season. And I'm not saying that they're going to be completely awful, but they stopped scoring goals. To be fair, they create chances against Man City, but there's still question marks over me and Eddie Howe over the long term.
With Newcastle at the moment, like I said, I think they've become leggy, and they're similar to Wolves when we first got promoted. They've got a good, strong first 11, but you look at the depth after. You look at their subs bench against Man City last weekend, and they had about 3 or 4 players I've never even heard of from their academy. And I've got my train of thought, but I think after that Carabao Cup defeat, I think if they finish in the top 6, they'll be lucky now.
Yeah,
they won't be in the top 6. I don't think they're finishing in the top 6.
He needs to Eddie Howe.
It's so
Eddie
tight.
Howe. Yeah, it is tight, man. But I rate.
You look at
Eddie Howe.
Almiron's form recently; he's gone completely off the ball.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
he's gone back
Almiron.
to how he is. He's gone back
He
to
needs
how
to
he
be
is.
dropped,
That's
man.
Almiron. That's the real Almiron.
He needs to drop Wilson and Almiron because they ain't doing the business. Bring in Isaac, bring in Saint Maximan or whatever it is.
Yeah, I
You
don't
need to
even
change
rate
it up,
Saint
man.
Maximan, mate. I genuinely think
I don't
he's a
as well,
little
Joe.
bit-
Thank you.
Yeah,
I don't as well.
he's a little bit techier than Traore. I think they're very similar,
Mate,
Those two are box office. If you could fund a football club and have them two on the wings, them pay per view, but you ain't getting any output from them. But they'll get you off the seat.
Thing, innit? Yeah.
They can join Anthony in the circus. Do you know what I mean? It's mad, isn't it? But yeah,
Good
I
man.
said this. Yeah, mate, Lil Dan, legend, man. I'll see you next time, bro.
Take care, lad.
In a bit,
All
man.
the best,
in a bit.
mate.
Do you remember D when we were doing that combined 11 and I said Adama Iwobi for St. Maximin because everyone put him
but
in.
that's been the case for a while now. That's been the case for a while. Do you get it? Even with Anna St. Maximin, there's been Palace fans that are saying, "Oh, if he leaves, get him. If Wilf leaves, get St. Maximin." I'm like, bro, come on, man. There's no production. It's nice doing flicks and stuff, but this just running down the wing and doing what? We're gonna get Reece Nelson anyways. He wants to join the manager, so we're sorted down the left hand side, and then
Mate, you're just taking like Lokonga, Reece Nelson. You can take. I mean, Cedric's going to come back from Fulham on loan. If you fancy him, you can take him. Do you know what I mean? So it's up to you.
Bro, I can't wait, man. I'm not going to even say more, but I'm just saying I can't wait. I can't wait.
Mate, you better beat us. You better.
I
that
can't wait about that. I can't wait till May. I'm just tired, man. I'm tired. Because, let me not talk, man. I'm just tired.
Proper tired.
These men are getting away with, I can't believe it. Even against Bournemouth, that shouldn't have happened. And that will catch up to you. I'm pretty sure that's going to catch up to you. If you have performance like that. What you've had a few. Villa as well. Last minute. Anyways, let me not
sign
talk,
your champions.
Well, that's what champions do, though, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but that's what champions do. But then when do you separate? That's what champions do to, wow, they weren't playing well. And it's going to catch up to them. Because one game, it will catch up to them. Champions, yes.
When they win the league or not.
Yeah, but against Bournemouth, they didn't have a great performance. And
I mean, they were all over
at home.
You know what? Like Liverpool, when we got beat 9-0, they had half the amount of shots that Arsenal had. So Arsenal were all over us, and they just couldn't. They just couldn't score. I think on any other day we'd have got smashed, but we were just somehow it's falling for. They had 4 VAR shouts, none of them went for them. Like we were fortunate in that one. So I don't know. I thought Arsenal were actually, I think a lot of Arsenal fans would say they were below par, but I thought for a team that's below par, they're way better than us. So I didn't think they were lucky.
Yeah.
2 very poor pieces of defending, though. 2 extremely poor pieces of defending. And, for all that Reece Nelson's goal was a moment, so was Philip Billings' goal. Because Merce had the same kind of explosion of head at the start of the game as he had at the end of it. And that was a thing of beauty. And the defending for Sinisi's goal was just amateurish. There are schoolboys in the village I live in who would have defended that better.
You could see that goal going in about 5 minutes before it hit the net. You could see the way he was arcing his run, and you knew that it was going to meet him. But and that Phil Bill goal, it's a bit of a weird one because it's a set piece. We were overloading the left and it went down the right, but there was a bit of fortune to it as well because the defending was poor. But
shocking.
We'll take it.
Pots, be honest. What are the games that you got coming up? Because I looked at the fixture list. You still got Chelsea coming up. You got City coming up. Don't you think you're going to drop points?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to drop points, mate.
That's
why I'm praying Man City will drop points as well, man.
It's been nice.
I think we've got some tough work. This weekend's going to be tough, man. Fulham's going to be tough away. Proper.
I think you'll beat them. I think you'll beat Fulham.
Nah, they're well organised side. They're well drilled. That's going to be a tough
Craven
one.
Cottage, they're hard to beat.
Do they have Joao Paulinho back?
No, he's out,
which
is good.
That's a big blow, actually.
That's a big loss for them. But
I can't wait. I can't wait.
We got a huge one. We got no striker fit at the moment. I mean, Jesus is now back in training, so we're gonna need him because we got nobody else.
Well.
Eddie's out.
Let me not forget.
We got Liverpool at Anfield. We got St James's Park to come. We got Chelsea at home,
10.
which I'm fairly confident about. We got Man City away. It's gonna be tough, man.
It's very, very tough at the top of the league, Dan. You're right, mate.
Yeah.
Must be. You guys must be hating me for it.
Can I ask Sam a question? Can I ask Sam a question?
Yeah.
Sam, when I looked at that result, obviously being a Forest supporter, mate, I was kind of thinking, great, that helps us. But how do the Bournemouth players psychologically react to that? I mean, they reacted actually quite well to the 9-0 defeat at Anfield, but that must be an absolute hammer blow to that dressing room, what happened on Saturday. So how, I don't know if you've seen any training or any signs out of the club, but how do they deal with that as a group of individuals? Because that was so hard to take.
It's really difficult because ideally you want to be playing a match next where you can, try to get over that result. But Liverpool look rejuvenated. So we hope we catch them. I mean, to be fair, away from home, Liverpool's form has been pretty poor. Not amazingly better than us. They've only had 3 or 4 points more than us on the road. So, we just have to put in a decent shift at home. If we don't do that, I feel that, together with the Arsenal result is going to be probably curtains for us. We need a point at least against Liverpool. I really feel that. I mean, yes, the table, you could probably take a look at the table and think, we'll be staying in touch, but not really. Given the games that
you imagine, though, Sam, if you go beat Liverpool now after them winning 7-0, I'd love it. It'd be class.
If we do, it'd be fantastic. But there is a certain negativity within the AFC Bournemouth fan base at the moment. We have got a number of players out. Hopefully, they're going to come back, and perhaps that's what it needs. Just a couple of new faces to come back, from injury, and maybe that can inspire us. I don't know at the moment. It's not nice turning up to games at the moment, and I know that fans always say, enjoy the championship. Well, I did, because every morning I woke up and I knew that we could get 3 points or at least have half a day. But we're playing certain teams where you're just waking up thinking, what's the point? Hopefully Saturday's not one of them.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. I also actually, although D thinks I'm gunning for him, I hope that Palace actually do sank at the weekend because we need them to. So, Man City fans saying it's a hard place to go.
I hope we don't.
He actually wants to lose. What a fan! What a fan! He wants to lose.
I mean, it won't be like the world of surprises if we lose because we can't win anyway. So it won't be like, Palace have lost against Man City. There's no expectation.
Just don't lose, man. Just don't lose. A draw.
Oddly enough, I genuinely, you never know, but I could see us like picking up points somehow. I don't know why, but it'll be so typical of us to pick up points against City and then lose against Arsenal.
Man City look good at the moment, man.
Yeah, they look good. They look better than Arsenal
again, which is a shame. Yeah. They do look better than Arsenal at the moment, but they're still not top, so they've got a way to go yet. Let's see what happens. I know. Billy, let's come to you. Du's depressed about Palace because they're bad, can't score. You obviously got the business done. I feel like Villa Need to get Palace out of my head.
You're
I feel
obsessed
like
with us,
Villa-
man. Get us out of your head. You're
Yeah, I
just
need-
obsessed with us 24/7.
I'm like Maz.
rent-free in
I'm
your
like
head.
Maz,
There's
aren't I?
bigger things
I'm
to
like Maz.
think about than Palace.
Billy, I feel like Villa are just going under the radar a bit at the moment, man. I don't really hear much talk about them, but maybe that's not a bad thing, Bill.
I'm happy as Larry with it, to be honest with you. You know, I switched over onto Sky Sports the other day, and they were talking about the relegation battle, and they were still talking about Villa, be it whether they're in the conversation or not. And fair enough to Stephen Warnock, he said that we're not in the competition anymore because, or the conversation, should I say? Sorry, and we're not gonna go down, but we're closer to Spurs in fourth than we are the relegation zone. So it's just funny when I hear stuff like that. You know, and I'm happy with us flying under the radar. Everyone's been going on about how well Newcastle have been doing this season, and yeah, they have been playing fantastic. But we're 7 points away from them. You know, we've got some decent fixtures coming up that hopefully we can get all 3 points in. I don't think for a second that we're going to get Europe. I still think that's maybe a step too far. And at the minute, getting into the top half of the table looks a little bit ambitious with Brentford, Brighton, Fulham, Newcastle as well, of course.
Everyone's you can finish above them, though, Bill.
You're too humble, Billy. You're too humble. If I was in your position, I would be top half. You can definitely finish above some of the teams that you mentioned.
No,
of
course we can do. No, I completely think that we can do. But you know, they're solid teams, and we've just got to be there to take the opportunities when they arise. You know, unfortunately, Leeds couldn't get at least a draw over the line at the weekend. I think for half an hour or so, we managed to go above Chelsea into the top half. So we just need to be there when the opportunity comes to make that step. And if we're just flying under the radar, focusing on the next game in hand, West Ham away, you know, I think we can get into the top half, but it's going to be a challenge because you've got so many good teams at the minute picking up points from everywhere.
Do you think, Bill, like, and I don't want to bring this up because it's like doom and gloom for you, but I can't help, if I'm a Villa fan, I can't help but think domestic cups again, man. Like, you're safe, you're going for a top half, you're not pressurized to get into that top 6 type thing. Do you feel like now it's like proper devastating that you didn't take that? Well, I say didn't take it more seriously, but that you weren't able to beat the likes of Stevenage. What's Stevenage, right?
Yeah, it was, unfortunately. It's gutting. It really is, because I think with a manager like Unai Emery as well, that's what he thrives in. He thrives in cup competitions, and he knows how to win games in cup competitions, unless it's Stevenage. It's just one of them things, unfortunately. It gives us an opportunity to really focus on the league now, just finish as high as we can. Kamara's picked up an injury, which is going to see him out for at least a month, which is
he's quality,
huge.
isn't he?
Oh, he's a top player, and he's going to be a huge loss. But I'm kind of hoping that, I think in our next 5 or so, it's really Chelsea that are above us at the minute. So hopefully it won't have too much of an impact. Of course, it's going to have an impact anyway, but we've got someone like John McGinn who can slip into there. Dendonker's coming back from injury. Even Callum Chambers, I thought he did decent enough when he came on at the weekend. So I think we've got enough in the squad for the time being anyway, with Kamara's injury. So yeah, I can't remember what the original point was now.
About the FA Cup, man. About the Cup.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, it is gutting, obviously, but it just gives us an opportunity to really focus on the league and just finish as high as possible. Because like I say, we've just got to take that opportunity when it comes up. We couldn't beat Leicester when it was last when the opportunity to get into the top half was last there. We couldn't beat Leicester. We managed to beat Palace. Unfortunately, Leeds couldn't hold on against Chelsea to get us there. But we just need to focus on ourselves. As long as we focus on ourselves, we'll be all right.
Credit
Yeah,
to Villa,
fair play,
though.
man.
I can't lie. I haven't given credit to Villa yet because I'm not going and looking into that chat after that defeat because I know lots of people in the chat rubbish. So, but credit to Villa. I mean, they didn't even have to go into second gear. Literally, they don't have to go into second gear. You can see how solid they are under Emery. You can see what they're trying to build. I think they've got some decent players, and not only decent players, some of these players have been at Villa before, but you have to give credit to the manager because they weren't performing at the same levels that they're performing now. And they had a few other decent chances as well to maybe score 2-3-0, but it was easy for them. And they made it look easy. So credit to Villa. I feel like they got a fundamental setup and they're going places. But
Yeah, I agree.
But
I
I
think
was-
you're in a good place, man, under Emery. I do.
Yeah, I do as well, to be honest with you. But I was really surprised with how, particularly in the first half, how easy it was for us against Palace. I think we had about 77% possession.
all right, you don't have to go there. I'll just give you credit. We don't have to talk about it.
No,
I
I'm just saying. I couldn't
believe.
believe how easy it was.
I thought we could just move on.
There was no
We don't
press.
have to talk about Palace. We just give you credit. We spoke about Palace.
Look, I've never got beef with you, D. Let me have this moment.
I love
ahead,
that.
man, go ahead,
He's giving you an inch and you're taking a mile there, Billy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you were crap, weren't you? Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
so too.
Exactly. Yeah, you were.
No, but they.
I can't believe you're going
know-
down. That's actually
Villa have struggled most under Emery as well when teams are really hard pressing us. So I was really surprised that Palace just let us have the ball, and we were. What I liked
We were
anyway
trying to
from a
press
Villa
you,
perspective.
but our press is so shit that we literally it would have been better if we didn't press you. I mean, it was pathetic in the
enough.
first half. It was genuinely pathetic. I was watching like bunch of professionals, and this when it goes down to the manager as well. That's trying to press Villa, but it's just like it's so disjointed. It's so disjointed. It's unbelievable.
There was
in the second
nothing.
half, it got a bit better, and it seemed like we actually knew what we was doing, but. It was literally so poor from that. But saying that, even though you did create a few chances, even towards the second half, I thought we defended relatively well throughout the 9 minutes. I don't think
Yeah, you
Villa
did, to be fair.
absolutely
You
peppered
did.
us. I don't think you had to go into second gear. I think our problems are in attack. Like it's not rocket science to
didn't
know that
create
Eze is not
anything.
my player.
You didn't create a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Zaha is not striker because when he plays up front, he's a brilliant finisher, but he doesn't get opportunities. I think that's where our problem lies. Our problem is Vieira needs to sort out. It all goes down to Edouard. That's a funny thing. I'm not saying Edouard is like a 20-goal striker that we have, but he's the most capable striker that we have at the club. And if he doesn't play, it means everyone else has to play our position, or the striker that we do play is simply not good enough. So until Vieira solves that, we're not gonna be scoring goals. And I think that's where the frustration really comes from. Because when I looked at our XG on our channel, and in terms of individuals this season, we haven't had that many underperformers. People have scored opportunities that they've got relatively. Even Zaha's overperformed, but the one player that hasn't is Mateta that has been playing. So for me, player plays in the right position. Lukonga has been a massive boost for us, but yeah, man, just end the season, really, man. End the season.
End the season. Dave and Joe have been waiting patiently, so it's only fair. Joe, let's come to you first, man. I haven't actually spoken to you since the Javi Gracia signing, or appointment, should I say. I'm not a fan of him, mate. I can't lie. Now, I haven't seen him yet, like in terms of long enough. But I'm not a fan of that. I think that is not... Well, listen, I don't know if he's going to be better or worse than Jesse March. I'm sure you think he'll be much better. But
Much better.
Can't be worse, I think.
Can't be worse. Joe's actually Jesse March is gone, mate.
Wait,
All
are
relative,
Leeds
Joe?
Are Leeds facing Arsenal again? Are Leeds facing Arsenal? Or is it that?
Yes. Soon.
Yeah. We got him at home.
After Post coming on here, talk about Javi Garcia being worse than Jesse Marsh. We'll see what happens. Don't worry, you'll get your revenge.
That's just my opinion. I think that is a signing that could see you go down. I hope I'm wrong because I like Leeds, as you know, Joe. But I don't know. I'm not saying you should have kept Marsh and you would have been safe because I think you would have gone down with him. But I'm not sure that appointment is one that I would look at and go, they're safe now. So I want to get your thoughts, man. How's it been under?
Yeah, mate.
Do you know what? He came in, what did he say? With the second worst team for conceding goals since that. We conceded one against Chelsea, none against Southampton, and 2 worldies against Fulham in the FA Cup from Polinia and Solomon. In terms of conceding chances, it's been pretty much non-existent in them 3 games. I know obviously we've lost them, but even against Chelsea, yeah, they hit the post and stuff. But for 90 minutes, we pretty much limited them. I think the problem for Leeds United, the other end, is scoring goals, and that's what he needs to fix next. I'm sort of happy there's an international break around the corner. I do really like him, mate. I think he speaks really well. His record at Watford was good. I mean, he got them to, I think, 14th, or it might have been 11th, and got them to an FA Cup final. You know what I mean? He's pretty much gone into jobs that have been shit shows, really, like the Watford one. He was at Valencia for a bit, and they've always been like difficult situations. I don't know if it's because I had a manager in Bielsa that, you know, very rarely spoke, and then we had someone in Jesse who couldn't just keep his mouth shut, that he's somewhere in the middle. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a happy medium. It got to the point as well where like Leeds were trying to acquire managers that were all in jobs. You know, Slot at Feyenoord, and then Iriola, who's doing well over at Rayo Vallecano. And I think Leeds United had this arrogance that they just felt they could go pick these managers up. And they were like, well, no, we want pre-season. So then we tried to give the job to Schroeder, who'd just been sacked from Ajax, and there was genuinely a massive backlash on social media. So the club quickly turned, and it was quite funny actually, because they were like, "Oh yeah, it was never close," but yet was pictured at the ground at one of the games getting shown round, and I was like, "Why are you lying?" Honestly, the board can be done anyway. 49ers coming in the summer. Hopefully, we're still a Premier League squad, and I hope. Do you know, this is the frustrating thing, right? I got battered for saying it at the time because there were so many people that loved Jesse, and I still don't know why. Against Accrington Stanley, we were 3-0 up. 3-0 up in the FA Cup against a team in League One. And with 20 minutes to go, he brought Rodrigo on, top scorer. Why? Don't know. Said it at the time. What are you doing that for? He got injured in that game and has not played since. People say, oh, you can get injured in training, you can get injured in it. Why bring him on? You're 3-0 up to a League One side. What are you doing? His excuse was, after the game, to see the combination between him and Bamford. They played 7 minutes together because he also subbed Bamford off. So, like, why 7 minutes? Like, can you not see that in training? So I think that's what's really scuppered us, because Rodrigo's in hot form this season. Luis Sinisterra as well is very, very clinical. We've not seen enough of him. If you add them two to the mix, I think we'll be all right, mate. Nonto's a baller, but clubs are wise to him now. And he's already finding that he's getting doubled up on. And
I know what that's like, mate. I've had that with Saka for 3 years, mate. Trust me. When they do that, they fight that. Nonso is a quality player, man. I'll tell you that now.
And I think that's now the next level he has to take on how to work out how to negate that in game. You know what I mean? That's that next step, right? Ghosting away from players, etc. Because, I mean, under Jesse though, we were Nonto FC. Just get it down the left, and that's it. I just think structurally we're much better. I like McKennie and Adams in midfield. The only problem is they shit the bed when it comes to the final third in terms of passing the ball, which is mad when you consider McKennie was at Juve and he's got good rep. But in terms of actual progressive passes, they're not that great. You know, they're not that great, if I'm being totally honest. We needed a striker, man. We needed a striker. Rutter, transfer record, but he's raw.
What's he look like?
He looks okay, mate. He looks okay, but he's very, very raw, man. And you know, Leeds fans now look at it and say, we should have really got Unahi. We were linked to Unahi. They wanted crazy money, and then he ended up going to, I think, Marseille, was it, for like 8 million or something? Mm-hmm. And we also were linked with that guy, Carez, at Coventry, who was a proper number 9.
Oh,
and I think we should have got him. Yeah, but instead we're too busy projecting to the future when we need to sort out what's going on here and now. And obviously Bamford wasn't even in the squad at the weekend, so has he picked up another knock? So, listen, Chelsea were not that good, and we should have definitely got something from the game. It's frustrating, mate, but I think, like's been said, the next few weeks for us. We've got Brighton at home at the weekend. I know they're in hot form, but it's a game. We're at home. We've got to win, man. We've got Wolves away. Then we've got you, and then we've got Forest and Palace. So for us, it's really important, mate, because we end the season. Our last 4 games at the end of the season are City, Newcastle, West Ham, and Spurs. Now, yeah, so them 4 teams, for me, there's no on the beach. They're all still battling. Newcastle will be chasing Europe. City be chasing you. Tottenham will be chasing top 4. And then you got West Ham as well, who'll be chasing, trying to stay up.
West Ham, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You can
in them last 4.
3 points there, but yeah,
I'm thinking, to be honest, bro, I'm looking at that Palace game and thinking that's one we definitely win. That at Forest, that's one we definitely win. I can't lie. I can't lie.
I'm just literally backing you saying about West Ham. What's going on today? I need to
They're them winnable games, man. Forest at home's huge. Massive,
that's massive.
It will be massive. It will be massive, man. It'll be massive, man. And I tell you, I've got to say, Joe, like, I genuinely mean it when I say this. I think Leeds in the Premier League is a great thing. Like, I really do.
You,
I'm not in the era of dirty Leeds.
Oh,
I'm not in
everyone
that era,
hates us, bro.
That was before me. So.
My daughter's 9, right? My daughter's 9, and she's just started getting into football. And we were walking the dogs, and she went, "Dad, why does everybody hate Leeds?" And I went, "Oh," and she's 9, and she's at school. She lives in Middlesbrough, but they all hate Leeds as well. Like, and I'm like, "Who's been saying this to you? Your mates at school?" Yeah. And I was like, "This is what I mean." Some people don't even know why they dislike Leeds. It's just from the dads,
weird,
I
isn't it?
think. You know what I mean? Oh, they're dirty. But go on, Dave.
Hunter, Charlton, Cooper, Madeley, Reaney, Lorimer, Giles, Bremner.
That's what I need to stay up because of you, Joe.
McQueen.
Like, I say this to everyone else as well. The reason why I want Leeds to stay up is because of Joe. If they go down, then it's unfortunate. But if they stay up, it's because of Joe. Other than that, I don't know. I haven't gone through the dirty Leeds era and all them, comments that's being made. So
I did.
You have gone
Dave
through that
has,
era. You're not that young. Stop acting like you're young. You've definitely gone through that era. You're not.
Colchester away, I remember, and dancing around the room as a little lad.
Well, I'll tell you a story. Sam's actually gone off, but Sam will be able to tell you. So when we won the league in 91-92, we went to Bournemouth Beach.
Yeah,
absolutely wrecked the place.
I lived there,
right?
Joe.
Yeah, it was bad. And this season, we play Bournemouth on Bank Holiday weekend, and Bournemouth fans actually wrote to the police to get them to change it.
Yeah.
And obviously they haven't. But that's 91-92. It's like, come on, man. It's a different time.
Chapman.
Yeah, exactly. So
it is it is different now. I don't know where Sam's gone. I think I heard his door go, so I imagine or his phone. So I imagine he's gone to answer that. But yeah, man, I hope you do it. I just fear that Grazia might not be the guy. But of course, I hope I'm wrong, Joe.
He's the Messiah, bro. He's the Messiah. Trust me.
He's the Messiah.
I love you.
Messiah.
You ready?
I didn't think he was shocking. I can't lie. I didn't think he was shocking.
This is why I'm playing for him. Sorry.
I thought a car hit someone's house or something.
Yeah, I did as well.
I didn't know what happened.
I was like,
I thought, what the hell was that?
Bro, I've gone from this, yeah, to this. That's what I was saying.
Fair play to you, man. Fair play to you, bro. Fair play. No, I've got to say it'll be a great thing if you do manage to, mate. To do it, man. Dave, I actually tell a lie. I didn't watch the game. I listened to the game on the way up. I did the Liverpool United game for DR Sports, so I had to get up to London, and I was like crazy at what was happening to start with. It was a mad start. A game that I feel like, I don't know why I was shocked by that, because that is just 2 teams that just have to try and get something out of the game. And at the end, I don't know how you felt, but I felt like perhaps you would have walked away from that thinking, one of those, but could have been a hell of a lot worse. And I think Everton would have been the same as well, man. So your thoughts, please, bro.
It was difficult to kind of come to any clear conclusion as I walked out the ground. all I would say is, can I just go back to Leeds and say I think it's great that Leeds are in the Premier League as well, and I'm really looking forward to going to Ellen Road. It's a ground I've never been to. Leeds United's a proper Premier League side in my view. Premier League.
I always wanted
and
Forest
I do
back
remember
as well, mate. I love you
bless
too.
you, mate. Bless you.
I
And I do
love how
remember
this is
dirty
going on
Leeds.
now. But
Yeah.
deep down,
It's a
we
bromance.
all have different feelings. We're like, I bet Dave's like, you know what, I absolutely hate
No,
Leeds.
Anyway, back to our game, and what was deemed to be a must-win gradually evolved into a must-not lose. And what I would say was that it was a rite of passage for me, because it was the first time in my 58 years and 11 and a half months that I'd been dyched. I've never been dyched before. We sat there, we all walked out, and we kind of think, well, we've all been dyched. There's a lot of dyching going on. In fact, they had the Nottingham Forest scientific unit were out on the field with meters, and they were saying there were intense concentrations of dyche around the ground, because if ever there was a game that Sean Dyche wrote, orchestrated, directed, produced, and put on the screen, it was that one. Because it was like a case of Everton just wanting to make it as, lacking influences you'll get. To be fair to them, if you sum up the game, Everton were the better team in the first half and Forest were the better team in the second half. And it was like an old FA Cup third round tie back in the 70s on a muddy pitch with two not particularly good teams, using their desperation to propel them forward. The only vignette of quality in a fairly stodgy diet was Brennan Johnson. And I'm going to say, we've all sat on this panel, lads. And Palace will say, well, where are our goals coming from? Leeds have said in the past, where are our goals coming from? Like Sam will say with this, look, where are our goals coming from? Where are Newcastle's goals coming from? West Ham's goals. But I look at us now, and I'm gonna say my little baby-faced assassin nephew, where are Forest's goals coming from? And it's from the little Welshman, and he's fantastic. That game, he rose above that game. He's got Morgan to help him. But the first goal, Everton get a penalty, which was a penalty. A lot of Forest fans, because they're Forest fans, say, well, it was against us, so it wasn't a penalty. It was a penalty. John Joe was the wrong side of Dwight McNeil, stuck his foot in, and it was a penalty. Just because I support Forest, it was a penalty. Right? And then I kind of thought, well, how do we react to that? Because we kind of went into it. It was one of those rare occasions when, our home form is so good. We're favourites. People have got most pundits have got us to beat Everton. And then Everton kind of got on top for a bit, and then we scored a lovely goal. Brennan finished it off. Then there was some head tennis which led to Everton's goal, very poor defending by us. And then our equaliser was, to my way of thinking, a thing of beauty, because the ball's come back to Johnson. And he's gone to go, if it was me when I was playing, it would have been left foot to stop it, hit it with the right. And Brennan allowed it to come across him, and he hit it in, curled it away with his left foot, and Pickford had no chance. It was fantastic. And the way the game finished, I think if we'd have played another 10 minutes, I think Forest would have won. So coming out the ground, I think to myself, it's actually probably a better point for us than it is for Everton. Because what we did at the weekend, in a very tight, these are all, we're all, those teams in that League of 8 at the bottom, none of us, maybe Wolves probably. I do think Wolves are the best of that bottom 8. I really do. But the rest of us, we make our progress in little gradual incremental amounts. So the way I look at it was, we've gone a point further away from Bournemouth. Sorry, Sam. I've gone a point further away from Joe, and Leeds. A point closer to Palace, so it was a strange game, really. But having lost 4-0 the week before and being truly abject at West Ham, absolutely a no-show, there was some kind of response. But we are still in the mix. And if people say to me, are you still in a relegation? Yeah, we're in a relegation battle. Just because we're, so many teams above the bottom 3. And I think it's more about teams between us and the bottom 3 rather than the number of points itself. We're still in it. And like I said to you last week, and I go on until it's mathematically set in stone, we're in a relegation battle. I actually kind of thought we were always our sort of menu was set for us in that we were going to come up straight up into a relegation battle. So we knew what we were going into. You know, maybe some of the other teams, I think West Ham and Wolves and that, they're finding themselves in a place that they didn't expect to be. Because really, without being awful to those clubs, they've underachieved. You know, for me, it was a case that we were the last one in. We're going straight into a relegation battle, and we'll be in a relegation battle until we're either relegated or we can't be relegated. And nothing really has changed. So, and looking at our fixtures now, it's Tottenham away this week. No, that's not happening. They're a cut above us. Sorry, Dan. I just think them on their own ground, they'll have too much for us. Then it's Newcastle at home. Now, Newcastle at home, with us, with our own form, and Newcastle's inability to make all of this good football count, I actually think that I might get a 59th birthday present that night. I really fancy to get something against Newcastle. Then we come back and it's Wolves, and then it's Leeds, and then it's Villa. You know, so. But the way I look at it, I don't go in for this. There are some games that are more winnable than others. They're all rock hard, all of them. You know, whether it's Bournemouth or whether it's Arsenal or whether it's Manchester City, every single game, in my view, is treated exactly the same. It's a mountain to climb for Nottingham Forest. And that way, I keep my feet on the ground. We keep our feet on the ground, and we don't get, delusions of grandeur and ideas above our station. I know, I hear some Forest fans and like, get real. We haven't been in this for 23 years. And we have been, I think it's taken us a while to stop being a championship side. And in many respects, I mean, and to be honest with you, in many respects, we're still a championship side. If anybody gone to that game on Sunday, and it was entertaining and it was enthralling and it was gripping, but if you were looking for the kind of quality that the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City and Liverpool at the weekend are producing, boy, it was a world away. But it was just a rambunctious championship standing game. So we've got a lot of work to do still, and I'm not getting carried away, you know.
Do you think, Dave, that you might struggle to keep on to Brennan?
It's a good question. I think where we're helped in that regard, Dan, is that he's a Nottingham boy. He lives close by the ground. His father obviously played for Nottingham Forest, David, and there's a hell of a lot of close, almost emotional affiliation for Brennan with the club. You know, he's kind of he joined the club when he was 8.
Don't do it to yourself.
Say again, mate.
I said, don't do it to yourself. I've been there. It's not nice. It doesn't end nice.
I mean, the thing is, Billy, I am, at my age, I'd like to think I'm sort of battle hardened enough to think that, nothing stays the same. I mean, Steve Cooper will go eventually, and Brennan will go, and Morgan will go, and the world changes. I know that, and evolution takes place. But I like to think that Brennan he's got this big emotional attachment to the club, and I hope I tell you what, that kid, I'm gonna big up that kid, because it's only 2 years ago since he was on loan at Lincoln City, and our previous manager, who shall remain nameless because Mr. Dorr will kick my ass if I mention his name, deemed him not to be good enough for the championship. He ended up as the championship's young player of the season, and I think at the moment, alongside Martinelli and Saka, he's probably the most obvious candidate for the PFA Young Player of the Year. The way he's going, he's certainly come back from. He's come back from.
Slow down, man. You can't go Saka, Martinelli, Johnson. I'm not having it.
Nah. I think.
Oh, go on, Joe. Joe,
let him
indulge
dream,
in old
Joe.
fart,
Let him dream,
please.
Joe.
I'm having Nonto over him any day.
Hey, I tell you what, no, Joe. It was interesting. You were talking about Nonto, mate, and the points you made about Nonto could be encapsulated in that Forest Leeds game, because first half, mate, Nonto was the man who was dominating the whole game, and then what Steve did at half time, he put Serge Aurier on, and then all of a sudden Nonto found it much more difficult. So
that was
maybe
that
I am
was
going
straw,
over the top
Dave.
about Brennan, but
that was the straw that brought the camels back, because this is the thing: we battered you first half, and then your second half, Steve Cooper goes, right, we'll play 5 at the back, we'll put some more men in midfield, and our manager went, just do more of the same, please, lads. Like, you know what I mean? And dumb, man.
If
absolutely,
leave,
mate.
How much would he go for? If Johnson was to leave, how much would he go for? Do you reckon?
Well, Brentford put in. I mean, if we're looking for some kind of, I don't know, context, Brentford offered 18 million for him last year in January. So Morgan Gibbs-White has come in, and he was, I think, 30 million, around about that. I'm not so great with these figures. I'm not interested in the amounts of money, to be honest.
Yeah,
yeah.
Of his age.
And so, you know, Morgan is kind of justifying his price tag, but I think Brennan has probably gone above that. Yeah, I'm probably overdoing it, and forgive me for that.
No, I think you
I get it.
When I think of Johnson, I think 45, 50 million.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Wow.
He's
It'll be about 40. It'll be about
because of
35,
his
40
age as
million,
well.
I reckon, because of his age.
It's got
because
like
of his age.
It's like that
Yeah.
UK.
I mean,
I know he's not English, but it's like English tax as well. I think you would add that on him.
Yeah,
It's
no,
the
I agree with
homegrown,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether he's English.
Homegrown tax.
Yeah,
I agree
I mean,
with
he's only 21. You know, obviously he's in a good vein of form at the moment. At the start of the year, it took him a while to get used to, you know, big school, if you like. But I just think at the moment he got our first goal. He kind of got out of nothing because he was onto it in a flash, and the second goal was a thing of beauty. I think he scores. He's had a lot of goal involvement, so I think he's kind of putting himself out there. But I reckon Forest, I think, would probably ask a ridiculous amount. But I agree with Dan. I think like 35, 40.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
that's 35 is probably about it, really.
That's what I'm thinking. Listen, we're going to wrap up in a minute. I'll ask Joe and Sam, because I know the other three, because we did it last week. Sam, let's ask you, because obviously it's been a while.
I know the question. Oh my
yeah.
I'm gonna go back on mute. Yeah, I feel like he does this every week. He asks us every week just to make himself feel better. Anyway,
well, no. Cool. Listen, I wanna, you know, listen. You've had your turn. It's Sam's turn now.
Right, go on.
Who's going down if it ain't Bournemouth, mate? Or is it going to be Bournemouth and two others?
I think Bournemouth will go down. I said it on the show a couple of weeks ago. I've got no qualms with saying that. Saints as well, and then probably Leeds.
Really, Sam? Oh, you killed me. You killed me.
Yeah.
It's all right, mate.
I mean, it definitely Bournemouth and Southampton. I think they're as good as nailed on. Yeah, I'm just looking at the table now.
It's between two for me. And I've gone for the one I think. I ain't going to change it now just because Joe's on. But I've gone the same as you, man. Listen, I think if it weren't for... The only other one I'm going for is Everton. But Dyche
I just can't see him going down. I just can't even
just Dyche factor. They don't
I
score
think
goals, though, do they?
They've just got too much, though. The thing is, he didn't have a January window, but the squad of players that Everton have got are very Sean Dyche players, and he'll get a tune out of them.
Yeah,
exactly. He'll get a tune out of them.
Can't score goal, bro.
Yeah, they can't score. That's the issue.
Can't score.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can't score goals. They haven't got striker.
They will get enough, though. I think they will get enough.
Flies onto him is injured. Like they can't. So how are they going to find? How are they going to find the goals? And
do you know what?
People say this. Dash keeps them up 100%. I understand Dash increase their chances, but you got Burnley relegated as well. Like it's not like Dash is invincible to being. He's got a better group of players, but they're not scoring goals. So I don't think it's obviously
they capitulated at Arsenal. That's no Dyche. They capitulated, man.
Dreadful at Liverpool.
Yeah, I listen. They beat us, but again, they were rubbish. Honestly, I think. No, sorry, I'm jumping in. Go on. I think we're dead without Calvert-Lewin, man. Like if he was fit week in week out, Everton would stay up because they'd be able to get balls into him and he would find the back of the net. But Neil Maupay, I mean, Damari Gray's been brought back in from the cold. But I mean, Warby, what's his face, McNeil. There's just not enough goals there for me. I think Everton potentially. I also think Forest are in big trouble, and I'm not. I do. I don't know what's going on with that centre back scenario. I don't know if you've been able to register anyone, but I think Leeds will finish above Forest and Everton come the end. I think we'll actually look back and say, do you know what? We're all right.
I mean, like I must say, like it sounds stupid saying this, but it is true. I look at who scores goals and I look at who concedes goals. Do you know what I mean? And that ultimately is going to be an issue, like one way or t'other. So
This
if you
man
score
Foden
goals, like
picked
Forest score goals, Forest do score goals.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
concede some goals, but they actually do score goals. Everton is a worry for me because of that reason. They just don't score goals. I tipped them to go down at the start of the season because they had an absolutely useless manager, in my opinion, and he proved to be because he got sacked. I think if they would have kept him, they were a dead cert to go down. Sean Dyche is the perfect appointment if they got any chance of staying up, and that's why I've just tipped him to do it. Now, I would rather Leeds stay up personally, but I just don't know that Javi Gracia will be enough for them. It's a big, big job for him to come in and keep them up. But I hope they do it, man. Forest have shown enough for me. They've shown enough fight. Steve Cooper knows how to get the best out of them when the time's tough. And they're workhorses and they do score goals. So I don't see Forest going down. Listen, all of us could be wrong, but that's my point.
Palace will end up going down.
I hope Leicester go down. If I could pick any team, I hope Leicester get in the mix. I do. I do.
Why? What's
Why?
wrong with
It's because of my friend Locks, who's a Leicester fan, man. He was giving it big. They beat Spurs, right? They beat Spurs, and he was telling me they were getting top 10, and I was like, all
No,
right.
that's
Well,
why I
there's
don't want
only...
Arsenal to win the league. I feel you, man. I feel you. You know when
Oh,
these other
dear.
fans they say, honestly, but when I was 10 years ago, I will never forget this. They used to call us Sainsbury's FC because our stadium is right next to Sainsbury's. They used to say, "Oh, you don't have no kit sponsor. You're this, you're that." And these were all Arsenal fans. So when Arsenal went downhill after Wenger left, and you lot were not even getting top 4, forget about top 4, you lot weren't getting any European football and struggling down there. It was like the best moments. And now with Arsenal in the league, I know all of them lot are waiting to message me. They're ready to jump back on the ship. If Arsenal win the league, I can't show my face. I can't show my face anyway. That's why.
You're a Palace fan, mate. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Nobody cares,
these
bro.
Arsenal fans, it was
If
Arsenal,
Arsenal win the
it was
league,
Arsenal.
nobody will
It
be
was
caring
Arsenal.
about what you think. If Arsenal win the league,
Arsenal.
I couldn't
It
give a
was
damn
Arsenal.
what you
No,
think.
you don't understand it. You don't understand
No, I
it.
do
I've
understand.
had to go through it for like 10 years. It didn't make any sense, but they used to get onto Palace. So Arsenal can't win the league based on that. It's my personal experience. It's not with the general Arsenal fans. It's them group of fans, like my boys, basically. Just like Joe, he's saying Leicester should go down because his Leicester friend was giving him all the chat. That's the reason why I've got a problem with Arsenal winning the league. If they win the league, then I'm in a mud. It doesn't make any sense because Arsenal are Arsenal and Palace are Palace. But yeah, it's easier. Look, if City win the league, we're all gonna be happy, aren't we? Like he's gonna come on here and be like, "Oh, look, City won the league." It'd be great.
What a relief! I've got no friends. I'm happy with that. This isolation, this solitude, this hermit-like existence I have. Can I just apologise to all of you, lovely gentlemen, for the traffic in the high street in the village? It's coach loads of people going past wanting to wave to me. Bless them.
Fair play to you, man. You should be so famous, Dave.
And just before we go,
Go on, Dave.
the Forest goal difference is horrendous, and unfortunately, me and Sam are joined on the worst goal differences in the league. So that comes into it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to chuck that in there. You're saying that we score, but we've only got 2 fit centre halves. We had 2 of ours were shot at the same moment at Fulham a couple of 3 weeks ago. So. We're not out of it. We are in a relegation battle.
Oh no, absolutely. And I think that's fair. Like everyone's been honest with that, and Sam's been honest. Thinks they might not make it. Obviously, Joe has been honest. Thinks they will. And Dave, you're like, we're not out of it, but things are looking good. Last question of the night, D. Do you want Palace to win this week?
You smiled. No, you smiled when you saw that question. That's why I'm not going to answer it because you. No, I'm not going to answer that. But I'm gonna. Of course, I want us to beat City, but I don't think we will win it. I feel like City's got too much class, unlike other teams. But look, Dan, I have to say before we actually go, I have to give you credit because I genuinely thought you was going to ask us if Arsenal were going to win the league. Because I'm pretty sure you ask us that at the end of every show. Bunch of teams that's in a relegation battle. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised you didn't ask.
Listen, I know your thoughts. I know you think City are going to win it, and I respect that. So,
no, I thought he was going to ask the rest of the panel because that's what you love doing. It's like,
I don't. Listen, it's none of the other guys are obsessed with Arsenal like you, so I don't ask.
Arsenal were obsessed with me before I was obsessed with them. That hasn't been documented. But yeah. But West Ham probably go down as well, so that would be fun.
You think? Bukayo Saka's my favourite player outside of Leeds United. I love him. I will say that.
Yeah. Outside of Palace, Arsenal are my favourite club, believe it or not. Like they're a well-run club. They got great young players, great young manager. Look at them; they're competing to win the league. It's a great story. It's a great
Big
story.
up D. Big up D.
It's a great story, man. It's a great story. Hopefully, you lot win the league. Yeah.
If we do it, man. Oh, if we do it, I tell you, the streets aren't ready, man. I tell you this now. If we win this league, wow, wow.
The streets. I ain't ready for it.
19 years I've waited. I know you guys have waited long, but 19 years for a club.
You can wait another 30 years. It's fine. You can wait.
Mate, I won a championship a couple of seasons back. It's no, man.
There you go, mate. There you go. See, and D's been in the playoffs. You know, he's all right. He's had success. So you know, one of those. Man.
Do European Cups count?
Yes, we won the.
Hey, go on, Dave. Go on, Dave.
Go on, Dave.
So how many? So it's me with 2, Billy with 1. Anybody else want to come over here?
I'm off.
We got cheated, man.
Let's end the stream. Let's end the stream there, shall we?
Sorry.
I don't want to. Let's not talk about.
It's not every time you come on a panel with your teams and then still get told you ain't got one of those.
Yeah, it's fine. Go on, City.
Just need to drop in the reminder every now and then, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Champions of Europe.
Me and Billy bond over Europe, don't we, mate?
Yeah,
is that Billy
exactly.
Bonds? Billy Bonds.
But if City win the league, trust me, there's gonna be no City fans coming forward saying, "Look at us, look at this." So it makes life easier, isn't it? So for the great of humanity, keep Arsenal as the banter club. Yeah,
listen, Arsenal ain't no banter club this season, mate. They're the club everyone wants to watch.
If you bottle it, you will be. That's the thing.
Well, listen, I take a title challenge. I wanted a title
rival
challenge.
fans on Arsenal. Like we're all waiting. Everyone is waiting for that moment. I'm telling you, you already know this as well. Everyone's waiting for the moment for Arsenal to.
Listen, everyone wants to pile in on Arsenal all the time, man. Let them. Yeah. It means we're relevant again.
Liverpool.
Finally,
no one wanted Liverpool to really win the league because it's been that long period of time, and then after they won it, it's like, oh, look, you can't laugh about them not winning the league. With Arsenal, you still got them. You haven't won the league for ages, so
yeah, it's been too long, man. Let's hope that we can sort that out this year. Right, we're gonna wrap up. My thanks to Dave, my thanks to Joe, my thanks to Billy, thanks to D, of course, and Sam. Big up yourself, man. Thank you for jumping on. It's always difficult when you've had such a devastating weekend to jump on, especially when I'm the guy on there as well. But fair play to you, man. Appreciate you coming on. Hope to see you again soon, man. What have you got coming
back
up?
of the net.
Yeah, back of the net. Superb, man.
Brilliant.
Keep it up, man. Keep it up.
You know what? Sorry for coming off the stream temporarily. However, my next door neighbour rang because they were locked out of the house. It's freezing cold. It's freezing cold. I was trying to find the spare key. And I found them, and they're an Arsenal fan, so I'm not bitter at all.
Excellent. What a story to end on.
Just, you know what though? Just on the back of the nest, like there was a video doing the rounds after Leeds comeback, and I think your man on it was bonfire night. Yeah, there was bonfire night, right? And fireworks were going off, and he went, "Look at them! They're even shooting fireworks."
We knew, but then in the paper, but then in the Yorkshire Post, they said that some guy was setting them off intentionally.
Oh, no. It was so funny because it was like, look at them. They're setting fireworks off for beating Bournemouth. It was
beating Bournemouth.
Mate, it's bonfire night. It is bonfire night.
We said that. We did say that on the vlog.
That's
we
class.
did know, but we like.
It was brilliant, though. It was great.
No, that is
We
class.
did that after a point against Manchester City. We're just as bad.
No, man. Absolutely love it, man. Football's a beautiful thing. Guys listening, make sure you smash a like, subscribe if you're new. Trying to get up to 8K people as quickly as possible. So make sure that you can come and help us with that. Make sure you follow all these guys on their socials and get over to their podcasts. And we'll see you next week, man. Up the Arsenal. Take it easy.